You are not in the real life. This is not the real life. What you've been taught is not the real life. This is not how life is supposed to go. Um, and sure, I'm talking about the education that our boomer parents taught us quite a long time ago when they actually work hard, and that hard work actually brought them fruit. They bought a house, they bought a well car, uh, they left money for future generations. Of course, some of them there's exceptions, like everything. And we've been taught by them that if you work hard, you're gonna have a really good life, and that also life is about being born, work, 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 getting married, work, have children, work, and pay your bills, blah blah, work, and then you die. And that's not how life is supposed to be. That's not life. We people that live in cities, that live in modern towns, um, are living an artificial life. We buy food from the market, food that, for example, the meat is almost, uh, of course, comes from an animal, but it almost tastes synthetic and doesn't have the same proteins and vitamins that a fresh killed cow or pig or whatever have to give us nutrition. Um, some food actually doesn't really contain, for example, fruits and vegetables, the same nutrients as vegetables and fruits that you grow yourself. Some are lacking actually vitamins and so forth. And by a quick search in Google, you can find this out and test it yourself. You can see it right there. So that is um, a part of an artificial life that we live in the cities. Also, humanity aren't supposed to live in these cozy places, to sleep in a really cozy bed, sit on a cozy sofa. No, all of this, of course, weakens us. As you know, these beds are so soft, these couches are so soft, and make our body soft throughout the years. Uh, we aren't supposed to work for someone else, as for example, work more than 8 hours for some boss that, of course, is getting rich because of the work you're doing for him. And you're not supposed to do this from 18 to 60 years old, doing this same process over and over again just to enrich your boss. Uh, of course not. But in the times of our ancestors, when there wasn't these types of civilization, we hunted and we gathered, and we live also in communities, and we all did something, but there wasn't such thing as exploitation. There was, but that was called slavery. Oh my god, this ads. Sorry about that. There you go. So yes, there was, of course, this thing where you work for someone else, but that was, like I said before, called slavery. And you can say that this is modern slavery because even though it is true that you can quit your job, it is quite hard to find another job, especially if you have the reputation of not letting yourself be treated like shit by a boss. The word goes around that you don't take shit from any boss, so any boss that likes to treat their employee like shit will not hire you. and of course you will be pretty much living in the street. Of course, if you want, you can live in the forest, but of course you can't legally because the forest belongs to the state. um, but yes, this is not how we are supposed to live. um, Life actually is more about being born. No simple survival skills. Go hunting, farm, of course. Uh, this thing that I remember from the channels of Barbie Kernes that told us to pretty much practice permaculture instead of agriculture. And I agree to that stuff actually. Uh, so you have to practice all these things to become self-sufficient, because that is the way life is. That is real life. To be self-sufficient, to feed for yourself, for your community, for your family, um, but not this living in a city, going to a 9 to 5 job, paying bills, um, go to some department to get credentials, and that's not life. That's an artificial life. A natural life, it's out there outside the cities. But unfortunately, we can't right now do this because, as you know, it's illegal to live in forests. You can camp but not have a permanent residence. So we can pray the gods for civilization to collapse. This, it's in that process. If you have learned Roman history, Greek history, you know that when the Greek civilizations reached peaked, they became to become degenerates. There were prostitution. There was orgies. There was every type of degeneration. Eventually, that brought their collapse. It didn't brought like a total collapse, because when the Romans fell, new people came to take those places. So it was divided, let's say, into kingdoms, that Roman Empire. And we are pretty much reaching that part where right now we're living in what is top of this modern civilization, the American civilization, and it is collapsing. We have problems with economy, problems with violence, problems with drugs, problems with mental health, problems with degeneration. It is eventually falling per se. So something new has to come to wipe this mess out, and hopefully something good and better comes. We will see about that. So yes, thanks for watching, and see you guys later.